Good day, sir. I am Nicole G. Diaz from Group 2 with the qualification of Food and Beverage Services NC4 superseded, and my group mates are Mr. Calbo Grunier, Mr. Campo Vladimir, Miss Cornelo Gemaline, and Miss Cuarto Maribet. And today I will be discussing what are the 21st century basic competencies that are related to the basic competencies of food and beverage services NC4 and why they should be integrated in the competency-based curriculum or CBC. So let's come now to the list of identified basic competencies. First, for the basic competencies of food and beverage services NC4 superseded. So we have here the following. So first, we have utilize specialized communication skills, develop teams and individuals, apply problem solving techniques in the workplace, collect, analyze, and organize work, plan and organize work, and last is to promote environmental protection. Well, for the 21st century basic competencies, the unit of competencies NC4 level, we have 9 basic competencies. First, we have utilize specialized communication skills, develop and lead teams, perform higher order thinking process and apply techniques in the workplace. Next, contribute to the practice and social justice in workplace. Manage innovative work instructions. Manage and evaluate usage of information. Lead and improvement of occupational safety and health program, policies and procedures. And we have lead towards improvement of environmental work programs, policies, and procedures. And lastly, we have the sustained entrepreneurial skills. So let's come now here with this table. So first we have the food and beverage services NC for basic competencies line, and the center is the 21st century basic competencies that are related to the basic competencies of food and beverage services NC4 and the discussion of integration in CBC. So in first row, we have the utilized specialized communication skills. And as you can see, it is similar to the basic century 21st century basic competencies, which is also utilized specialized communication skills. So the utilized specialized communication skills in 21st basic um, competencies are really suitable for integration in relating in food, beverage services, and C4 superseded qualification, because the trainee here trained to utilize specialized communication skills to meet the specific needs of the clients, conduct interview, facilitate group discussion, and learn to report workplace concerns effectively and contribute to the development of communication strategies. And also, it is applied through role-playing, service simulation, and written documents that support which such reports and order slip in which the 21st basic competencies have common similarities, both related and connected to the basic competencies of the FBS and C4 superseded. So, integrating this competency and CBC ensures that the trainees can communicate effectively with clients and colleagues through interviews, role plays, and written reports. It builds confidence in handling workplace concerns and strengthens service quality in hospitality operations. So, next, we have developed teams and individual. For these basic competencies, we identified two basic competencies in 21st century. So first we have develop and lead teams. So in FBS and C4 superseded, the focus is on developing within team through coaching, mentoring, training. While in the 21st century, the competency expand by requiring the trainees not only to develop but also to lead teams, emphasize motivating, directing, sustaining team performance during operations. That both competencies integrated through group tasks, simulations, service activities, and this elevates into leadership, preparing trainees to take supervisory and managerial roles in hospitality. So, in CVC integration, these as are highly emphasized that it elevates teamwork into leadership, preparing trainees not only to collaborate but also to motivate and direct others. That, as mentioned, This equips them for supervisory and managerial roles in food and beverage services. Next in line that are related to the developed teams and individuals is the 21st century basic competencies, which is contribute to the practice and social justice in workplace. So develop teams and individual and contribute to the practice and social justice in workplace are both related because they emphasize fairness, inclusivity, and growth within a team environment that both integrated in through activities, mentoring, and simulation that encourage collaboration and fair treatment. So this emphasizes that trainees not only build skills but upholds values of justice and inclusivity in hospitality operations. So, in integration and CBC, um, this this is embedding that in CBC promotes fairness, inclusivity, and collaboration. It ensures trainees uphold values of justice while building skills in team environments. Next, for the basic competencies of food and beverage services and C for superseded, I have here the apply problem solving technique in the workplace, and there are two distinguished identified basic competencies from the 21st century. So we first tackle the first one. So we have here perform higher order thinking process and apply techniques in the workplace. So the apply problem solving techniques in the workplace. These emphasize structured steps like identifying causes, recommending solution, and monitoring outcomes. While in the 21st century competencies, they perform higher order thinking process and apply techniques in the workplace. It ex- this expands into critical inquiry, evaluation, and continuous improvement, which are related both because they focus on analyzing issues and finding effective solutions. So they are similar because both prepare the learners, or I mean the trainees, to handle workplace challenges. And but also the 21st century competency elevates the skills by requiring creativity, strategic thinking of modern hospitality um, demand. So in CBC integration, it is this competence is really important to integrate because this develop structured problem solving skills from identifying causes to monitoring solutions. It expands into higher order thinking, encouraging creativity and strategic decision making for modern hospitality challenges. So next, 21st basic century that are related to apply problem solving techniques in the workplace is the sustained entrepreneurial skills. Why? Because this competency, sustained entrepreneurial skills, and the apply problem solving techniques in the workplace are connected because both require the trainees to think critically and act strategically in workplace situations. The apply problem solving techniques in the workplace um, focus on analyzing problems, identifying solutions, and implementing corrective actions, while the sustain environmental skills, on the other hand, this expands into applying solving toward business growth, innovation, and sustainability. So they are similar because both emphasize adaptability and decision making that ensuring trainees can resolve challenges and also sustain enterprise in food and beverage industry. So this competency links problem solving with innovation and business sustainability. So in CBC integration, um, ensures that trainees can adapt, make strategic decisions, and sustain enterprise in the food and beverage industry. So next, um, basic competencies from food and beverage services NC4 superseded is the collect, analyze, and organize work. And the related um, 21st 21st century basic competencies is to manage and evaluate usage of information. So this competency is suitable for integration in food and beverage services and seaports superseded qualification because information management is integrated in handling reservation, customer records, and inventory system. They practice creating efficient workflows for smooth operation. So this competency develops their ability to manage complex service instructions. Trainees innovate and improve um, process in food and beverage and develop their skills. So for integration and um, CBC integration um, trains the trainees to handle reservation, customer records, and inventory system effectively. So it builds skills and in managing a modern hospitality data, ensuring a smooth operation and innovation. Next for it is plan and organize work for the basic competencies under food and beverage services and C4. So we have here to distinguish or identify the 21st basic competencies that are related to the basic competencies of food and beverage services and C4. So first we have the manage innovative work instruction. So work organization is integrated by this designing workflows and adapting to modern service technologies. Trainees manage innovative procedures such as POS system and online. They create efficient schedules and task assignments. So this competency develop ability to manage complex service instructions. Trainees innovate and improve process in food and beverage services. So embedding this competency in CBC develops trainees' ability to design workflows, schedules, and task assignments. So it prepares them to manage complex service instructions and innovate process using modern technologies. And next related 21st century basic competencies is lead and improvement of occupational safety and health program, policies and procedures. So this competency, they plan and organize work, focus on setting objectives, scheduling tasks, and reviewing activities, while the version of lead and improvement of occupational safety and health program or policies and procedures expands this into ensuring safety and compliance in modern workplace. So they are similar because both require organization and accountability. But the 21st century competency elevates the role by integrating leadership in safety and continuous improvement within competency-based curriculum integration. Also, they both connected, which is emphasizing structured planning, monitoring, and evaluation in workplace operation. So, in CBC integration, it ensures that trainees not only organize work but also lead safety initiatives. It emphasizes accountability, compliance, and continuous improvement in workplace operations. So, we have here the promote environmental protection for um, basic competencies of food and beverage services and C4 preceded. So the related 21st century basic competencies is lead towards improvement of environmental work, programs, policies, and procedures. So this competency ensures promotion of sustainability in workplace programs and policies related to the qualification of food and beverage services and C4 superseded where environmental awareness is integrated through sustainable practices and service operations. Trainees learn proper waste management, eco-friendly packaging, and responsible sourcing. So this so the trainees became advocates for environmental responsibility and hospitality operation. So this competency, when integrated in CBC, makes trainees advocates for sustainability and in hospitality. So once once the trainees graduates, they they learn eco-friendly practice like waste management and responsible sourcing, aligning operation with global environmental standards. So those are the identified basic competencies under the Food and Beverage Services NC4 superseded and the related 21st century basic competencies. So those identified 21st century basic competencies are directly related to the food and beverage services NC4 basic competencies. Why? Because both aim to prepare the trainees with essential workplace skills such as communication, teamwork, leadership, problem solving, safety, and sustainability. The difference is that the 21st century basic competencies elevate these skills by requiring higher order thinking, innovation, inclusivity, and adaptability to modern technologies and global standards. So, integrating them into the competency based curriculum or the CBC, it ensures that the trainees not only master traditional hospitality practice but also develop the critical, creative, and ethical mindset needed for today's dynamic service industry. So this alignment bridges past vocational standards with future-ready skills, making trainees competent, responsible, and globally competitive professionals. So that's end of my presentation. Thank you for listening and have a nice day ahead.